When it comes to installing feeder wires, you can save a lot of time by making yourself a dispenser for your wire rolls. All I've done here is put two big screws into my support column at an angle. It took me about 10 seconds to make that dispenser, and it saves a huge amount of time rather than dealing with the roll on the ground. I've already cut and installed all the feeder wires for this one reversing section, and I'm ready to move on to the next set of colours now. I'm going to go around the entire layout and drop all the feeder wires before I even get the soldering iron out, and then I'll make one more lap, solder everything, and then crawl underneath the layout, doing all of one task before I get on with the next one, and that will save a lot of time. Well, I now have all the feeder wires installed on all the track that I've laid. Probably about 50 or 60 pairs, I didn't actually count them. And now I'm going to get the soldering iron heated up and then go around the layout, solder all the top ends of the feeders, and at the same time make sure all the rail joiners are soldered. At least all those that need to be anyway. I know there are a lot that I didn't the first time round. It shouldn't take long. Just start at one end and work my way around. For all the subterranean hookups on this railroad, I have a new kind of connector that I've never used before. They are these 3-part cylinders from Posi-Products. Here's all the information on the front. And they're quite simple. I did a test earlier. You just unscrew the grey end, force it over the bus wire, and then we have this pin here that pierces the wire as I screw it on. And then we loosen the other end, don't take it all the way off, and then with the stripped T-wire we push it in as far as it will go, and then tighten that. And then with any luck we should have continuity. Did a test earlier and it worked. Let's see if this one works. One on there, one on there, and yes, we have perfect continuity. So now that I'm confident that this new kind of connector works, I'm just going to get underneath the layout and start hooking things up. Well, I've done a few connections under the layout, and when I dropped the feeders, where I had the main section and the reversing section running side by side, I did take the precaution of making sure that I didn't drop feeders for both sections in the same vicinity. That gives me a lot less chance of hooking up something wrong by mistake. All I have to do is make sure that the light colours go to light colours, and I should be fine. So that's 4 done, about 1 million more to go. Let me get on with it, and I'll check in with you again later. Well, I spent the last 6 hours whizzing around under the layout on my creeper, and the net result is that the vast majority of the feeders are hooked up, both top and bottom. I've got these wires hanging down here. That's where the reversing circuit board is going to go. Where I've got multiple feeders close together, I found I could get up to 3 wires into the one connector without problems. I think this wiring looks a whole lot neater than what I did on the last layout, so I rather like these connectors. Well, this is where I reap the benefits of building this high level as a separate section, because by detaching it and turning it on its side, I have turned what would have been by far the most difficult section to wire into the easiest. And it's only a few minutes extra work to do it that way. Well worth it in situations like this.